Hello everyone. These are some words I wasn't sure I'd ever have to say, but Joy's back. But yeah, Vara left me a comment letting me know that she was back, and I've watched a few of her videos, which is a bit of a challenge. Now, I'm just going to hit on a few points, and I'm just going to hit on a few things. She's come back because she needs the money. Fair enough. We all do what we have to do to get money. Obviously, I don't know the welfare system in America, and I don't know how it works. I know the welfare system in this country, and I know how strict it is. And if the US is anything like the UK, which I think it is, they are quite strict. And you have to meet a lot of criteria to be able to get any benefits at all. That's the way it works here. Most developed worlds, it is. They don't just give you money for the sake of giving you money. There has to be a reason as to why you can't have a job. Now, she has health issues, which I've always said she probably does. It's just she was either given incorrect information, or I think I was, and I still am, under the impression that she's blaming X for what's happening when it might be Y and Z as to what's happening. And without going through medical records with a fine-tooth comb, I'm never going to know the answer to that, and I wouldn't expect her to give me that access. And I don't want that access, because that's her personal information. I've just said that sometimes some of the treatments that she's been given and the condition she has don't always match up. And obviously, because we have a different healthcare system here in the UK, that sort of colours my education, shall I say. Where in this country we are very strict on what conditions you have and what medications you can have with relation to that condition, and your age and several other factors. Now, I know in America you're more likely to get prescribed opioids than you are over here. I think it's just the way things are. Most of you know me know I have a medical condition. I will show you my meds, but you are currently sat on them, so I can't. And my medical conditions are complicated and feed into each other. Now, so I can sympathise with you on that. Another factor I will say is one of the reasons why she stated she left was because she was fine about, the online harassment, or should I say, the online kickback to some of the things she was saying, some of the things she was doing. She was fine about that. But when people were threatening her, when people were sending death threats, when people were ringing roommates' apartment, when people were contacting friends and family, that's when she was like, right, I'm done. And I will say this, I have never and will never advocate for the use of abuse, real abuse, or death threats, or doxing. I don't agree with it. I never have, and I've always said that. I've kicked off on Twitter for John doing it. I've kicked off at multiple people for doing it. I've kicked off at Jake Paul for doing it. At the end of the day, and I've done videos about it before, where you do not go to somebody's house unless you have been expressively invited. And in the case of social reports, a sarcastic invite isn't an invitation. So, attacking Joy by ringing roommates' work, or getting in touch with people that know them and getting involved in their lives and ringing their work and saying, and trying to get roommate to lose his job, etc., that is totally not allowed. And that is totally going way above what it should. At the end of the day, you should not and will not gain anything by doing that. If anything, you will gain a criminal record, because doing that is actual criminal harassment, and doing that would leave you at the chance of repercussions of criminal cases and criminal charges. I've never said for any of my guys to go and attack anybody I'm talking about, and they never would. The only reason, well, there was a few reasons why I dislike Joy, and those reasons still stand. When she sees a topic or a situation, she grabs her puts her fingernails in it, and then doesn't let go. And we've seen this numerous times. Instead of picking your videos and topics and planning them out, is like I do, usually 3 to 4 videos a week, or 2 videos and a live stream, or 3 videos and a live stream, whatever. That's the way it works for me. So I'll record 3 videos today, and then on Sunday you'll get a live stream, and that's the way I work. And I don't do 4, 5, 6, 17 videos in a day. And for her to say that it all depends on her health, well, for me, what I do is, because I don't know from one day to the next what I'm physically going to be able to do. I don't know from 1 hour to the next what I'm physically going to be able to do. So I think, right, I'm not feeling too bad today, which I'm not. So, right, I'll record my 3 videos for the week. Then it's done. I'll release 1 today, 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Friday, and then do a live stream on Sunday. Instead of releasing 4 or 5 videos in a day, spread them out so that you're not overfacing yourself in one day. That's just the way I work, and I think that Joy would actually benefit from working like that, where she banks videos, especially if she's going to do the Dr. Phil series that she's after doing. Bank those videos, and then when you're having a day where you don't feel like you want to record, just release 1 or 2 of them. You know what I mean? It's like, normal people, most videos they release a day is 2, and that's Markiplier. I rarely see more than 2 videos a day of people, unless they become fixated. We all know I dislike Onision with a passion. But 14 videos in one day is a bit much, and I could understand Onision's irritation at that fight. In actual fact, I completely understand it. I completely get it. He was pissed at her, and he's allowed to be pissed at her, because at the end of the day, he has to bring in money for his family, and her doing that many videos on him, if anything, it's just going to make him look 1,000 times worse than he is. Now, I'm not saying Onision's perfect, because we all know I really don't like the guy, but going on and on and on and on and on about a subject is one of the reasons why people started turning their back on Joy, because she would literally, in 5 videos, would say what it would take me 1 video to say. She did the same with Daddy of 5. Now, I'm not going to harp on the Daddy of 5 situation, because that is essentially over. In almost every respect of the word. I dare say that Joy will sort of bring it up again in the not so distant future, but we shall see. She did the same with that, where she went too far. She actually went as far as to get personally involved in the case itself, which I would never have done, because to me it makes no sense. People had already pulled all the information together, and people were already promoting Rose's GoFundMe. So what added benefit would it have been for Joyce to get involved? Not much. So She did seem very angry, which, considering that she's parent rumoured to have been receiving threats, death threats, etc., I can only sort of understand why she's a bit angry. I've received death threats, but I don't take it that personally, but that's just me. She says she's not going to apologise. She's not going to hide what she thinks. She's going to go in on the haters, which would probably include me. There's no Patreon for now. And she was whining about the fact that that people called her out for having a Patreon. No guesting on live streams, unless it's an interview or if there's a specific reason. That she's not going to promote people unless the people that she actually genuinely knows. No research, and this is verbatim what she said. I'm not really able to fully research some things. Then don't do a video on it. I don't do videos on something I can't fully research. Just talking about in like Monday's video for you guys, which was like 5 to 10 minutes ago for me. Video on John. The only research I had to do is watch a couple of videos. Especially if you're going to go in on Dr. Phil episodes, because Dr. Phil is a fully qualified psychologist, you have to be careful what you say. And those of us that have some psychology knowledge, which I do, not much, but I do have some, and those people online that have a lot of psychology knowledge are basically going to rip her apart if she says something that is completely wrong. On other topics, and especially anything to do with medicine, a lot of people are going to call her out on things. So that did hurt me a little bit. If you're going to come back and you want people to take you seriously, then you need to research what you're talking about before you even try, because otherwise people are just going to rip you apart. She's going to research things. She's not sharing diagnosis. She's not, and she's not sharing how and when she gets better. But she is going to talk about it in a separate video. That's what I was like, huh? It's like 1 minute she's saying, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to give you all my medical information. I'm not going to tell you this. I'm not going to tell you that. But I'm also going to do a video on how I'll get better. And it's like, she got stabbed in the back, which I admit she did. She did get stabbed in the back by a few people. But in some respects, she wasn't exactly innocent in the encounters. I'm not saying that it was right or justified. I'm just saying that when you insert yourself into certain situations, then when those situations come to a head, it is going to cause issues. Whether you are a good person or a bad person, that is going to be clear to know and clear to understand. She was playing the victim as usual. Nothing new there then. She was basically saying that she was innocent, that she was just trying to help the kids, that she was just trying to help people, and she got attacked. It's like, no, you went too far. And that's what people were attacking you for, that you were going too far. You were too involved in a situation you should never have been in. And you got too obsessed with another situation that had nothing to do with you. It personally didn't hurt you. It didn't hurt anybody you know. People had already called him out on his shit. So for you to do 6 videos on the same thing and basically say the same thing in all 6 videos was redundant, when a lot of us had already said it. She says that she's going to eventually pay back the money that was donated to her, but only to those that still treat her with respect. So you have to treat her with respect to be able to get your money back. Further story times about things that happened while she was offline. She claims people continued to attack her while she was offline. The only time I talked about it is when she did something that caused for me to talk about it, i.e. the Annie Worski live stream, her own her own 2 live streams. Those are the only times I talked about her. I haven't really spoke about her. I might have occasionally mentioned doing other videos about other topics, like on Etion, but I wasn't doing 10 videos a week on her the whole time she was gone. Why would I? And I know lots of people had stopped. Ignoring that people were silent until she subtweeted them about someone. She either subtweeted about somebody, which was something she stood about her Epsilon a lot, or said something in a live stream about somebody, such as, and I don't know whether this was pointed at me or not, but there was the live stream she did with the Worskis where they were calling out Nick Monroe and other people. Now I think that was unfair because you had like 5 people who was on Joy's side, and then 1 or 2 that weren't, and I think that was unfair. And I will go on to a point that Keemstar said that I completely agree with. But lots of times we all stayed silent. A lot of us did. I'm not saying all of us did, but a lot of us did. And she says she's not going to stand by when people call her out, such as Epsilon and Nick Monroe. She actually named them 2 by name. It's like, yeah, but unless you're gonna actually provide people with proof as to why we're wrong, when we're just stating our opinion of you. She used emotional manipulation about, I'm having to do videos because I need to eat and medical things. And she mentioned her lack of family and several other issues, all of which to me are something that you would see somebody who was emotionally manipulated do. I'm not saying she purposely did that because she knew that that was what she was doing. It might be her truth, but it does come across to a lot of us that it's emotional manipulation. And it's something we've seen off a lot of people on YouTube and off a lot of YouTubers, where they say, oh, I'm really sorry I did this, but, or I'm really sorry I did this, but, I'm really sorry I did this, but. And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry I went in on Onision, but he deserves it. It's like, well, you're not really sorry then. If you use the word but, it negates anything that's said before it. And this is the fact that I wanted to mention that Keemstar mentioned in the live stream with the Worskis. She ignores the fact that she's been told by multiple people multiple times that if she reacts, she makes things worse in the long run. Now, I'm not on about if somebody sends her a death threat, she goes off on them. I've received death threats, I just delete it and go carry on with my day. I limit the amount of information I reveal, which most of my normal subscribers will know that. You don't know my exact age, you don't know what date I was born. Only thing you know about me is I live in York, and that's it. And I have an educational background in forensics. That's it. I limit how much information there is out there about me, because I don't reveal a lot. And the fact that she has, throughout the years, put out a lot of information about herself, it does keep coming back to kick her in the ass. And when she gets questioned about things that she used to say or things that she used to think, she sort of talks around the fact that she doesn't believe in them, but the belief was valid but she doesn't believe in them, but you know, there is some validity in that belief at time. If somebody does a video like this where I'm talking about Joy and I'm saying, look, this happened and this happened was unfair, should never have happened and he's wrong, and she should never have had to put up with that, and it should never have happened. However, I will still continue to call her out when she does this, 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 this and this. And I'm stating my opinion of her I'm Back video, that there was a lot of manipulation in it, and that there was a lot of woe is me in it. And to me, that causes me to think that she's not fully genuine on what she's saying in the video. Because she's essentially saying, well, I'm in the right, you're in the wrong, I don't care what you think. And it's like, that's not the way to have a channel. And if you respond to people, then, which is what she'd do online, somebody would call her out on something on Twitter and she would kick off. And it's like, that's why people didn't stop talking about you, because you just kept continuing to kick off at people. When the thing that happened with contacting roommates work, I would have called the police, I would have called the FBI Cybercrimes Division, got them involved and just left it. Because they can find out who called that number, and they can find out who it is. And they can find out exactly what was said. That's what I would have done. Because that's the best thing to do in this situation. You get those authorities that handled that particular thing involved so that they can then handle that thing. And if you don't like, and just by going off on Twitter, somebody's wrong room, that's just going to make people do it even more, because they're getting a rise out of you. Because I don't let people get a rise out of me, they give up. I have one person that every time I do a video, regardless of the topic, hates it, dislikes it, pretty much within the first couple of hours. And despite the fact that they're blocked me blocked on some social media, follows me on other social media just so that they can listen to what I'm talking about. But I very rarely even acknowledge that person. And they may very well get a kick out of mentioning them now. I'm not going to mention them by name. But just the plain simple fact that she mentions Repsy, that she mentions Nick Monroe, that she mentions on ECon, they're going to get a kick out of that. I can guarantee you right now, on ECon's going, oh, Joy's back, oh, this could bring me some pennies back. I know she's doing it for the money, but when you're going up against people like Onision, the one thing you have to be careful of is the fact that the more drama you involve him in, the more drama goes his way, and it just feeds his fuel for attention. It's like, he doesn't get anything out of Shane, but he keeps pressing that button. He doesn't get anything out of Social Pause and Jacqueline Glenn anymore, so he's given up. And the plain simple fact that Joy is basically going to walk straight into his hand just basically makes me think, why? It's like, I've always said that Joy had the potential of being absolutely amazing, being absolutely wonderful social commentary channel. However, she gets too tunnel visioned, and that just, it royally tripped her up twice last time, and people called her out for it. But like I say, death threats, calling people's works, no. Doxing, no. Now with the doxing, there are two school of thoughts. One that somebody else had done it, one that she'd done it. I don't know which one is true. I'm just saying that either way, it's wrong. Doxing should never happen. If somebody doesn't want some information out there about them, you don't share it. You just don't. So I will apologise about the doxing, even though I wasn't involved. I will still say it was wrong, it should never have happened. I will apologise that she's not doing well and that her health is still bothering her, and I hope that she does get better. But I'm going to try my best to leave her alone. If she goes way out of line, then I'll probably pull her up. But I'm going to try my best not to get involved, because, well, it's not that I don't want to get involved, it's just that I've got more important things to be doing. I've got bigger things and more important things to think about than every video that she does. And if she does go too far on a topic, I'll probably say something, but I'm going to try my best not to go in too harsh, because I do know what it's like to have a medical condition that makes you exhausted and that causes you severe pain every day. I know that. So I am going to give her some sympathy, but I'm not going to let her get by without being called out on some things. So, with that being said, I'm going to record Friday's video, and then I'm going to get my back to calm down, and then I'm going to do these videos. It's not going to be much editing because I don't really have decent editing software, but eventually I will do, so just bear with me. But at the minute I don't, so I'm just basically putting my intro at the beginning and then uploading, because that's all I can do at the minute. So if there's any topic you do want me to cover relating to anybody, let me know down below, and if I like the topic, I'll talk about it. If I don't, I won't. That simple. So, that being said, stay safe, be good, have fun, and I will see you very soon.